It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
Hey, hello and welcome back. How you doing today, y'all? I come to talk to you today because I have something on my mind again, but basically to help someone who may be going through what I went through. And my topic today is dealing with death. And a lot of people don't like to talk about death because death is spooky to them and they're scared of it. And inevitably, we all are going to die. I mean, there is no ifs, ands about it. Nobody lives forever. I mean, you just got to try to face it. But it's hard to deal with someone who is very close to you that you love had died. My experience with death, what might be the spirit. Okay, time to tell about it then. There's a time back in 2002, and 2002, I believe it was, my father was suffering from pancreatic cancer, and he didn't have long to live. So I just, me, my husband at the time, and the kids, we all loaded up to go back home to my home to see my father and spend time with him, and which I did. I was grateful. I sat there and had time with him, and we laughed and we talked. And then my father went on to sleep, and he eventually went on home. 18 months later, I go, 6 months after my father, no, 4 months after my father died to be exact, I had to go get my mother because I had to bring my mother down because I promised my dad that I would take care of my mother. And so I did. I did everything that I could. And 18 months later, my mother got very ill, ended up on ventilators. And I had to make a decision whether to keep my mother on or off. And believe me, guys, this was the most horriblest decision. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. To make a decision to pull your loved one, your mother, your father, even your children off life support, it's the most difficult thing you will ever have to do. And I'm telling you, it was rough. But I did because she asked me to. And so a year later, after dealing with my mother, my husband had a massive heart attack and died in the bed beside me. And I was there with him when it happened. And I tried to resuscitate, and I couldn't get him back. All the medical training in the world that I had could not bring him back. So I went into a very deep depression because year after year I was losing someone very close to me. I'm a single mom now. I have 8 children. Yeah, I have 8 children. And I had to figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. But I couldn't muster the strength to get up and wash my own tail. It was a very hard time for me, and I had no support from family. I had a few friends reach out, but just a few. My best friend, of course, she was there. She reached out. Hey, Kim. She was there with me through a lot of it. I remember even calling her 5 o'clock in the morning telling her that my husband had passed. And I had to come home and tell the kids. But I was just devastated. I was in a state of shock. I was lied on, while it was going on. I got lied on. I got kicked out the nurses program because they felt I wasn't strong enough to handle a death. And so everything just went south at that point. And I got severely depressed. I didn't care about the house. I let the house go. I didn't care. All I wanted to do was feed the kids and get them through school. And basically try to finish school myself. Because school, believe it or not, folks, was holding my head high and keeping me sane. Keeping myself occupied in something else, striving for something else. I turned all the negative into positive. But I'm going to tell you something. You got some snake-ass people that's going to get in your way. Even though you're going through the worst that you can go through, people still want to be snakes. So don't trust them. Don't trust them. I don't care who they are. Just don't trust them. Because something as devastating as that happens, you know, it pulls out the worst in some people. But anyway, as time went on, I started getting closer to God and doing a lot of praying. I did a lot of praying, a lot of crying. It was hard. It was very hard. And I'm going to say this. Don't let nobody tell you you grieved too long or you didn't grieve long enough. Because everybody grieves at their own pace and their own process. But what I can tell you as an experience of losing my dad, my mom, and my husband, and dealing with that, and 13 years later to remarry and find happiness again is truly, truly, truly a blessing. But also, note this, when you're going through, just know, no matter how hard it hurts, no matter how many times in the middle of the night you wake up, and you do, and you're scared, or, excuse me, you just wake up and don't know why, you know, because sometimes they be on your mind. But know that in time, in due time, it gets easier. You never get over it. You don't even get through it. It just becomes a little bit easier to deal with. I still have my breakdowns on Mother's Day, sometimes on Christmas, because my father was born on Christmas, and my mama was born on the 2nd of June, which I get very depressed that time of the year too. Father's Day I don't, but Mother's Day I really do. And on Halloween, the day my husband died, because that was my favorite holiday of the year, was Halloween, because that was the time I could be whatever I wanted to be and whomever I wanted to be. And he died that morning on Halloween. So I don't celebrate Halloween anymore. It's not too many things I celebrate. I still feel lonely, and I still feel hurt. But I got to keep striving and moving forward. I have my kids to deal with, take care of. I have a new husband who brought life back into my life after all the people before him weren't shit, but a piece of shit. And I'm glad you are where you are, and I am where I am. But I don't know what else to say about it, but I just had it on my mind that maybe someone is dealing through it, and know that this pain is going to get a little easier. It really just gets a little easier. Anyway, subscribe, notify by hitting the bell so you can see another upload. My mind is not really where it needs to be now, because it was kind of difficult to reminisce about the 3 people in my life that I loved more than myself, and know that they're no longer here. It took a lot to do this one, especially I'm a daddy's girl and a mama's girl, and I got spoiled by my husband. Anyway, I'm not going to leave it on a sad note. Just know that my next video will probably make you laugh. So, you have a blessed day. Y'all be good. Love one another. Respect one another. And gain knowledge and wisdom. Goodbye.